Chaitanya Bhagavata ki jai, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jai. We're in Shantipur Dham, and Lord Chaitanya has just finished a wonderful feast cooked by Mother Shachi. So he's finished his prasad, and all the devotees devoured his remnants, and they're sitting together. And one leper came there, begging for mercy, and Lord Chaitanya said, "Get out of here, go to hell, go to Kumbhipaka." And he said, "You're simply an aparadi." And he said, Lord Chaitanya, we finish up by saying, "I don't want to see you. I cannot deliver you. Get out from here." Burning pain and inconvenience resulting from leprosy that you're suffering from now, that is only a token punishment for the offender to the Vaishnavas. Just wait. You will soon see Yamaraj and get much greater punishment. You are such a sinful person. Not only do you have leprosy, but you're so sinful that no one should even look at you. God will never deliver atheistic offenders like you that have offended the Vaishnavas. Antilila chapter 4, text 368. Se kushta rogi shuni prabhura utar dante china kari bale haya katar. When that leper heard Gauranga's reply, Dante Trina Kari, he took a straw between his teeth and he spoke with great humility. Kichuna Janilun Muni Apanakaya Vaishnavera Ninda Kailun Pramatahaya. I did not know anything. Out of madness, I ruined myself by blaspheming a Vaishnava. I didn't understand his glories. I have already suffered the punishment I was destined for my offense. Oh, you alone know the atonement for my offense. Gauranga replied, "This is only an ordinary suffering you're undergoing at present. Further unlimited suffering is awaiting you in the future." Now he goes on. Ateva tara shasti payulon uchita ekana ishvara tumi chinta mora hita. I have received appropriate punishment, my Lord. Now think about my welfare. Sadhura swabhava dharma dukhire udhare krita aparadire o sadhu kripakari. It is the natural duty of a saintly person to deliver the distressed. Saintly persons display mercy even on the offenders. Eteke tomare muni layanusharan tumi upekshile udhari baye konjana. I take shelter of you. If you neglect me, then who will deliver me? Jahara ye prayaschita Saba tumi gyata, prayaschita bhala more tumi sarvapita. You know the proper atonement for everyone. You are the Father of all. Please, therefore, tell me what is my atonement. Vaishnav janera jaina nindana karilun, uchita tahara e shasti e paulun. I have already received suitable punishment for blaspheming a Vaishnava. So he's not agreeing with Lord Chaitanya's prediction about his future suffering. That this is only the beginning. There's more coming in the future. Prabhu Bale, Vaishnava Nindai Jai Jana, Kushta Roga Kon Tara Shasti Likana. Leprosy is insignificant compared to the other punishments for a person who blasphemes a Vaishnava. Apatata Shasti Kichu, Hai Jache Matra, Ara Katache Jama, Jatanara Patra. You have received only a temporary punishment. There is more to come, for you are fit to be punished by Yamaraj. Chorasi Sahasrajam Jatana Pratyakshe Puna Puna Kari Bunje Vaishnava Nindake. Gauranga said, the blasphemer of Vaishnavas repeatedly suffers 84,000 punishments awarded by Yamaraj. Chala Kushta Rogi Tumi Shiva Sarastan Satvare Pradhaya Gya Tanhara Charane. Gauranga said, O leper, go quickly and take shelter of the feet of Shivas. Tanratani Tumi Karijacha Aparad Niskritito Maratinho Karile Prasad. Since you have committed an offense against him, you will be relieved when he forgives you. Kanta futte je muke sehi muke jai paye kanta futi leki skande bahirai. When a thorn enters the body, it must come out from the same place. If a thorn gets stuck in the foot, can it be taken out of the shoulder? In other words, you offended Srivas, so you have to go to Srivas to remove that offense, not me. Maha ekahi lana tora nistara upai Shivasa pandita shami le se dukahai. I have told you the means for your deliverance. If Shiva's Pandit forgives you, you'll be relieved of your suffering. Maha Shuddha Buddhi Tinho Tanra Tani Gele Shami Bena Sabatore Nistariba Hele. Shiva's intelligence is most pure. If you approach him, he will easily forgive you for your offense and deliver you. Shuniya Prabhurati Susatya Vachan Mahajaya Jayadwani Kaila Bhaktagan. On hearing Gauranga's Satyavachan, his Susatyavachan, most truthful words, all the devotees said in great elation, Joy, 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 joy. Se Kushta Rogi Shuni Prabhura Vachan Dandavata Haya Chalila Tatakshan. Se Kushta Rogi Pai Shivasa Prasad Mukta Haila Kandila Sakala Aparad Jateke Anarta Haya Vaishnava Nindai Apane Kahilae Shivai Kuntarai Tatapya Vaishnavere Ninde Jejan Tanra Shasta Ache Shri Chaitanya Narayana. After hearing Gauranga's shiksha, the leper offered obeisances, immediately ran away. He offered dandavats. Thereafter he received the mercy of Srivas Pandit, and he was delivered from his suffering as his offenses were destroyed. Here in these pages, in this particular lila, Gauranga and the leper. Gauranga meets the leper. The Lord of Vaikuntha, Sri Vaikuntha Rai, has personally explained the havoc created by blaspheming a Vaishnava. Tatapya Vaishnavere Ninde Jay Jan Tanra Shasta Shri. If anyone still blasphemes a Vaishnava, even after hearing all of this, he will be punished by the Supreme Lord Sri Chaitanya. Vaishnave 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 Jay Dekaha Galagali Galagali. Same as Hindi, no? Paramarte Nahi Ite Krishna Kutohali. The quarrels between Vaishnavas that one sees are not to be taken seriously, for they are pastimes in relationship to Krishna. Haribo! So there's some consolation for our infighting. As long as you have Sangha, Guru Sangha infighting, it's bona fide. We thought it was karma. But if it's outside of the Sangha, if you're fighting with your boss, relatives, family, in-laws, outlaws, etc., then it's punishable and It's simply a product of Kali. It's Kali Sambandha. It's relationship with Kali personified. But this is Paramartha. This should not. The quarrels, the galagali, dekaha, dek. Oh, Krishna Das is arguing with Chaitanya Das. He's so. Oh yeah, I know that Chaitanya Das is so hot-headed. Yeah. Oh, Krishna Das is hot-headed too. Yeah, this guy he's Leo. Leos are like that. They're hot-headed. Yeah, he's a Sagittarius. He's cool. All these stupid upadis. Sarvopadi vanirmut tam tatparatvena nirmalam rishikesha rishikenam sevanam bhakti uchate. I thought we were supposed to get free from that, because that's the primordial definition of uttam bhakti. Anyal vilashita shunyam is a refinement and deepening definition of that verse from Padma Puran. All the coverings of karma and gyan. Someone is a Sagittarius and someone is a Leo. That's the covering of karma. That's a karma vichar. We are disciples. We're shishya. We're dvija. We've taken birth in the Chuta Gotra. We have a prakrita deha. Diksha kali a prakrita deha lena. At the time of diksha, one gets in a prakrita deha. So anyabilashita shunyam jnana karmadhyana avritam. So our dealings should not be covered with karma. Our dealings should not be covered with gyan. Avritam means our achar, our behavior, our dealings, our exchanges should not be covered with karma or gyan. We should relate with each other as Vaishnavas and Vaishnavas. Oh yeah, Leos are like that. They're always hot-headed. They're always proud. Yeah. Sagittarius, no, he's Libra. He's okay. He's cool. He's Libra. He's balanced. This is all bogus consideration, all Mayak influence, Kali influence. Every genuine devotee who is surrendered, who is Krishna Sharanagata. The primary symptom of a Vaishnava is Krishna Sharanagata, that he surrendered to Krishna. He accepts that Krishna is the goal of his life. He believes that Krishna will do everything. And Krishna is my maintainer, my protector, the goal of my life. And everything else is just insignificant. Just some dust on the mirror. You can just blow on the mirror and blow it off. It's not grease, it's not paint, it's just dust. That's why it says it's just dust on the mirror. Chaita Dharvana Marjanam. Just blow it right off. And Bhakti blows everything off, the covering, all the coverings get blown off. Bhakti is the atom bomb for Maya. And blows Maya right out of the water. Blows Maya right out of the water. In the biography of Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyago Sri Jiva Gopalako. The Sadgoswamis, they are glorified because they were Dhira Jana Priya Priyo. They were Dhira Jana Priya. They were Priya, Jana Priya. They loved everyone. They loved all, respected all, served all. And Dhira, they were cool. Their minds were cool, so they had no material judgment in their minds. No material calculation in their minds. No material consideration. Leo, Sagittarius, Aquarius, Capricorn, Sindhi, Hindi, Bindi, Punjabi, Bombay Wala, Bombay Wala, Delhi Wala, American Wala, Ruski Wala. They didn't have, this is what Dhira means. And they were themselves fixed in Krishna Bhakti, on that spiritual concept of life. I am Krishna's eternal servant. That's it, boss. So Raghunath Bhatta, one of his special sterling qualities, aside from reading the expertise in reading the Bhagavatam, he was a lifelong brahmachari. He would read the Bhagavatam for the pleasure of all the Sadgoswamis in Vrindavan, behind the kitchen of the Radha Damodar temple. In the old temple, the 6 Goswamis would meet there and honor the prasadam of Radha Damodar. And then Raghunath Bhatta would read from the Bhagavatam. He would read the Sanskrit shlokas, and Sanatana Goswami and Rupa would give some commentaries. And Jiva would take notes and be listening. So he was very expert in reading the Bhagavatam. It says he could read the shlokas of the Bhagavatam in 5 different tunes, like a parrot. If you ever hear a parrot, they have so many different tunes that they sing. Parrots, sometimes they talk and sing, and very sweet. But one of his most distinguishing qualities, which I noted in our book, Gaudiya Vaishnava Samadhis, which is now coming in Hindi, it's actually at the printer right now, being finalized. And there it says that Raghunath Bhatta, he would never accept or consider the offenses of any Vaishnavas. And people would come to him and complain. They would say, "Oh, this so-and-so neophyte devotee, this new devotee, he just moved into the temple, or he's new in our sangha, and he's like this and like this." And Raghunath Bhatta would say, I don't know what you're saying. All I can say is, all I know is, he surrendered to Krishna, he's trying to serve Krishna, he's perfect. And that's his perfection. That's his perfection. He's surrendered to Krishna, he's trying his best to serve Krishna. That's all I know. There's nothing more to be said. I just see that he's serving Krishna. He's serving Krishna and everything is fine. So you try to see like I'm seeing. Now you go, Janari Krishna Jal. He would never entertain or see the faults. Of course, this is a vision of the Mahabhagavat. The Mahabhagavat sees that everyone is serving Krishna, even the Dacoit and Gunda mafia or whatever, terrorist. So there's no need to preach. But this is a slightly different angle, Raghunath Bhatta, that there would be devotees, and they would actually, maybe they made some offenses here and there, which would on one level be recognized as some type of aparad. But Raghunath Bhatta, he had this type of vision. He said, they're surrendered to Krishna, they're serving Krishna. I can't entertain what you're saying. I don't want to hear about it. It's a very nice, neutral, and respectful and encouraging position. So now this leper has been advised by Lord Chaitanya, even God, Lord Chaitanya is God, the leper petitioned God for forgiveness. God said, forget it, go to hell. You deserve to go to hell, you offended my devotee, I don't want to even look at you. Better you go to hell and let Yamaraj finish you off. But okay, all right, you have straw between your teeth, you're doing this humility thing, okay. You pulled that one on me. So humility always works, because already he approached the Lord. He came up to the Lord and said, "Oh, you're supposed to be merciful. Please deliver me from my leprosy." And the Lord rejected it. So then he adopted a new presentation. After the Lord Gauranga spoke all about the glories of Vaishnavas and how dangerous it is to offend them, then the leper came to his senses. Then he tried again with the same appeal for mercy or clemency, forgiveness. But this time he tried a different approach. It was the same goal to get forgiven, but he tried a different approach. He picked up a piece of grass and bit it between his teeth and externally showed the posture of humility, and obviously his heart took a severely humble turn, and he became humble in mind also, not only in his expression of his physical actions of clutching a piece of straw between his teeth as a physical expression of humility, but he also spoke that way and felt that way. So Lord Chaitanya's heart softened and said, anyway, all right, go see Srivas. So he did, and then he was forgiven. So now Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying that this galagali, bad words, dirty words, if devotees are speaking dirty words or bad words to each other, the non-devotees, they get confused, or even devotees, oh, why is he speaking like that? He's supposed to be a devotee, why is he? And it's just because, actually, you're talking about God brothers. What is their basis of their being God brothers? How are they God brothers or God sisters? What makes them a God brother or God sister? Because they're brothers in God. They're sisters in God. So that means that they're working together to please the Father. This is a one family where everyone has the common Father. Even in families, the material families, there's quarrels among brothers and sisters. It's not that it's all hunky-dory. Everything's peaceful with brothers and sisters. Well, why is it I came to this Sangha and my god sisters are arguing with each other and my god brothers? Oh, wait a minute, Jack. You don't have a brother or sister? Yeah, I have 3 brothers. You love all of them equally and you're all just big, happy family. Everyone's always blissful all the time. There's no fist fights and punching and rolling on the floor and lamps flying through the air and hair being pulled and faces being scratched. I mean, come on. Get real. Are you alive or dead? Life means arguing. Life means quarreling. Life means loving and fighting. All these things are aspects of life. If you're alive, you'll fight, you'll cry, you'll laugh. Dead man doesn't argue. Dead man doesn't argue, and a dead man doesn't have any complaints or criticism. As long as somebody's alive, they're going to argue with themselves or somebody, and they're going to criticize not themselves but somebody, and they're going to fight with somebody. Especially in this age, it's the age of fighting. Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur, he's born right in the middle of this age, 400 years ago, so he knows about the scene. Gully Gully. He says it's Leela. It's Krishna Leela. It's Paramarte. Ite. There's a purport by Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. When foolish people see Vaishnavas quarrel, the foolish people think that their quarreling is like that of the non-devotees. Oh, I came to this con, I came to your Sangha, this devotee's arguing, yelling with that devotee. It's the same as the material world. I'm fed up. You guys are arguing, fighting with each other, and outside they're arguing, fighting with each other. That's the same. I forget it. Just let me be an atheist. Stay in the material world and argue and fight with all those guys. But the reason they're arguing, fighting, that's why he says it's all in relationship with Krishna. They're arguing, fighting about Krishna. It's about service. It's about the Guru. My service to Guru, your service to Guru. Because they're all brothers and sisters of the common Father. So all their issues are all about service, or you stepped on my toes, or this or that. But the whole reason they're even together, or the whole reason they're even talking about each other, or the whole reason they're even arguing with each other is Krishna and their service. That's what he's trying to point out here. Otherwise, the people to get together in a Sangha, if there wasn't Krishna and Guru, they would never be friends. They would never meet each other in 1,000 lifetimes. If they met each other in the bus, they'd say, oh, this guy, forget it. This girl, forget it, whatever. So we come together, this is Krishna's arrangement. So it's just part of the Leela, part of the life of a devotee, the life of a Sangha. If someone says, oh, I went to this Sangha, no one argues, everything's so nice, I say, that must be a dead Sangha. Something's weird. People are artificial there. It's so nice, everyone's so peaceful. That means they're all fake. They're not like, they're hiding everything. They all have PhDs in diplomacy. Really. I can't believe it. We went to Bombay and there's 3,000 devotees and they're all so loving and peaceful. It's so wonderful. Every day it's just like the spiritual world. I said, wait a minute, something's funny. Go underneath the cover. Pierce the diplomatic cover. Pierce the veneer of fake behavior and see what's going on. This guy got divorced, this guy ran with this guy's wife, this guy beat up that guy, this guy gave a bloody nose to that guy. Come on, let's get serious. You can fool some of the people, some of the time. Can't fool all the people all the time. If it's like that, then they must have created Satyuga. And I don't think it's possible. When foolish people see Vaishnavas quarrel, they think that their quarreling is like the non-devotees. But this is not the case. Rather, such quarreling increases their love for Krishna. Haribo. Vaishnav Gala Gali increases your Prem Gali. Vaishnav Gala Gali will land you in the service of Radha Krishna in Prem Gali. Ananda Kanda Bhagavan Ki Jai. You stupid! You get it's my service. You're envious. No, you're envious. No, we're all envious. Yeah, hey, you're right. Okay, let's have prasad. Let's close it on that. I'm not envious. Yeah, well, I am envious. What about you? Yeah, me too. Okay, let's go get some prasad. Celebrate our envy. What more? The love for Krishna that Rukmini and Satyabhama amassed while competitively competitively arguing with each other is enhanced by such quarreling and competition. Therefore, by creating quarrels and differences of opinion among Vaishnavas, Sri Chaitanya Dev has established the ideal of quarrels in this world. Sounds like Narada Muni. Narada Muni is always creating quarrels and arguments with different parishads of the Lord, Lalita and Radha and the Sakhis, Krishna, Radha and the Krishna. And he's always icing things up by his clever speeches. Narada Muni. Very interesting sentence. That Lord Chaitanya creates quarrels among the devotees. He creates Lord Chaitanya is creating this quarrel and difference of opinion. Why? And in order to increase their love for Krishna. Because when we quarrel and then we argue, then we realize, oh, maybe I offended him, and actually, who is he anyway, and who is she anyway? We have to think, actually, they're a devotee. I mean, they're Gurudev's disciples. And actually, they do service. And they please, the Guru likes what they do, and I'm also serving him. And they're actually pretty good devotees. So we start to we actually, at the end of a fight, like I say, husbands and wives fight, then they kiss and make up. But in the course of that repairing time, they often grow in their appreciation, or they grow in their relationship. They enhance a relationship by a few good fights, if there's any kind of love as a foundation of it all. So this is what Siddhanta Saraswati is saying, that Lord Chaitanya, he creates these quarrels in the Sangha, the Vaishnava Sangha, because he wants to speed up, accelerate the process. He wants everyone to get love of God. Take it, I want to give you love of God. Oh, you have some envy. Okay, let's bring this envy right out. Let's pop this boil. Let's get this pus of this envy out of our hearts. Our hearts have a big boil on it. A big boil covering our hearts. And that boil is full of the pus and poison of envy. So let's pop this thing. Because we can play the tact and diplomacy game. Oh, you're nice. I'm nice. You're nice. Hi, how are you? Fine. Yeah, fine. Hey, dirty. But when you come out, when you're straight, then it's like it's all out front. And it's all out front, then you can deal with it, process it, purify it, throw it out. And Brahma, his daughter appeared when he created women or whatever, how it ever happened, but he had a daughter, and he became lusty after his daughter, Lord Brahma, at least one Brahma. There's so many hundreds, thousands of Brahmas, but in some kalpa, some particular Brahma, he lusted after his beautiful daughter, and he ran after her. And then somehow, because of his buddhi, because his body is practically made, that's all it is made of intelligence. So he manifested this samsattvic buddhi rather than being controlled by his rajagun, his passion for lust or sex. And then he had a momentary slip into goodness, and he captured himself. So wait a minute, what is this mentality? What is this swabhav that's overtaken me? This tamasic swabhav, this rajasic swabhav. This is not me. This is not just, proper, moral, correct. And he threw it away. It says he rejected that mental body, that swabhav, manasic swabhav, manasic swabhav, that mental body. He didn't die. He didn't tie a rope around a ceiling fan and choke himself to death. But he committed that. He killed that body, killed that thought body. Just like we're having a dream. A dream is a thought body. A dream is a manasic swabhav. We're having a dream. And it's getting really, hot and heavy in the dream. So then how do we kill it? We pull out. We wake up. We wake up and the dream is killed. It just evaporates. Sometimes you may have a good dream about Krishna and Guru, and you suddenly wake up for some reason. Then you want to go back and tune in that dream, but it's already evaporated somewhere. So you're having a dream, some ghost coming or whatever, and something, you bust out of that subtle condition and come to sattva, because dreaming is raja. It's changing the mental body, the mental space, and you wake up, become conscious, become jagrata, conscious, awake, and then everything's nice, and you chant the string of prayers, Hare Krishna mantra, then you go back to sleep, and everything's clear. New level of mentality. But this is what's happening when Vaishnavas quarrel. And they're thoughtful, they think about it. Why did it happen? What happened? And then they analyze it. Because the center is it's all coming, they're all together. As I said, they're God brothers and God sisters for the pleasure and happiness of Sri Guru and Sri Krishna. Their quarreling is Leela. It's the Lord's arrangement to quickly bring them, to throw away these negative, useless, subtle bodies of envy, anger, and greed, and lust, and manifest the pure Sabhava, the Atma Sabhava, the praying Sabhava, the purified Atma. Quarreling is healthy. Quarreling, argument is progressive. Beautiful verse, Antya Leela Chaitanya Bhagavat, chapter 4, verse 388. Satyabhama Rukminiye Galagali Jena Paramarte Ekatana Deki Binahina. Although Satyabhama and Rukmini abuse each other and appear as opponents, they have a common spiritual goal. Ek Paramartha. The Vaishnavas, Ek Paramartha. He Mata Vaishnave, Vaishnave Binanai, Binakara Jaina Ranga Chaitanya Gosai. Similarly, there are no differences between one Vaishnava and another. Differences are created by Lord Chaitanya for his pastimes. So is Gaur Leela still going on? Yes. How long will Gaur Leela go on in this world? For 10,000 years, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement will grow and thrive. So the Leela is going on. Gaur Leela is going on. So that means there will be differences with Vaishnavas. And who has created them? It's Ranga, Chaitanya Ranga, Gosai. Ite je eka Vaishnavera pakshahai anya Vaishnavere ninde sei jayakshai. Vrindavan Das Thakur Vedvyas says, therefore, if one takes the side of one Vaishnava and blasphemes another, he is doomed. So it's not good to form political parties in the Sangha. What do you think of so-and-so? He did this and that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so-and-so agrees with me also. And you're the third person. That three of us agree that Krishnadas is bogus. So they make a little political campaign to get some votes in their party, the anti-party, Krishnadas anti-party. Let's elicit members by phone calls and SMS messages. So someone may quarrel with the other devotees and lose his taste and stop chanting, and then his progress or increase of bhakti stops and diminishes or ceases. So what is the answer? So the answer is that he hasn't surrendered yet. Because the first bhakti begins with Sharanagata. There's 6 symptoms of surrender. And if you're actually a devotee, when you surrender to Krishna, it's for life. It's not, well, let me try surrendering. If I don't like it, I'll go away. That means you haven't even started bhakti. You said you're doing bhakti. Bhakti begins with Sharanagati. It means you accept, do or die, no matter what happens, I'm never going to leave Krishna. I'm never going to leave the Vaishnava Sangha. This is bhakti. So if you leave or have a quarrel and go away and put your tail between your legs and run home to mommy and daddy, hang up your bead bag, that means you never surrender to start with. Like Prabhupada, when devotees were leaving in the early days, they would mention to Prabhupada, and he said, don't be surprised who goes, be surprised who stays. This is what it means to surrender. The Krishna, we study the Gita, we study for so many years and so many lifetimes, and we come to the realization that there's nothing else but surrender to God. The only way I'll ever get success is by surrendering to God and the Vaishnavas. God is in the hearts of the Vaishnavas. I can never leave Krishna, I can never leave the Vaishnavas. This is bhakti. This is the beginning of bhakti. Without the Vaishnavas, I have no bhakti. Without Krishna, I have no bhakti. How is it possible? Bhakti is not a vacuum. You can't go into a vacuum and have bhakti. It will dry up. If you leave the Vaishnavas and leave the holy name, whatever shadow of bhakti that you thought you had which will disappear. If you actually have bhakti, you can never leave, and when you never leave, then it keeps on increasing. For the surrendered soul, it's only progress. There's no digress. Surrendered soul never goes away, never stops. Maybe temporarily he's covered by Maya, but then he comes back. He has true bhakti, but going away permanently is not possible. So Vrindavandas Thakur is saying, don't take sides. Eka haste ishvara sevaya keval, arahaste dukkha dile tara ki kushal. If one serves the Supreme Lord with one hand and gives him distress with the other hand, how can he be benefited? Can that person? In other words, with our right hand we offer Krishna Rasgula. With our left hand we slap his cheek. So on one side we do our artik and our puja and we chant our rounds, serving Krishna, offering to Krishna. On the other side we blaspheme the devotees. The two sides of the same coin. The coin of bhakti, the coin of spirituality. One side of the coin is God and one side is the devotees. If one serves the Supreme Lord and one hand and gives him trouble with the other hand, he can never achieve any auspiciousness. The Lord's devotees are like the body of the Lord. They're the limbs of Krishna. Therefore, they never become averse to his service. Shri Hari, Guru and Vaishnava are equal in the vision of one who sees all living entities as devotees of the Supreme Lord. Only such a person is qualified to attain liberation from material existence. It's a very wonderful section here. Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antilila, chapter 4, this whole verse 386. It goes for several verses, up until 400 or so or more, about Vaishnavas and the equality of Krishna and the Vaishnavas. We could spend lots of time discussing this section. He mata sarva bhakta krishnara sharir Iha bhuje jay haya parama mahadir. One who understands mata sarva bhakta krishna sharir. One who understands that all the devotees are actually the body of Krishna. He is most balanced. He is a topmost balanced, equipoised, sober, intelligent person. Parama Mahadir. How can I offend this devotee? He's Krishna. He's Krishna's body, part and parcel. Krishna says in Gita, what does he say? Mamevam cho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. Is this god brother of mine, is he a jiva? I think so. At least I can say that much about him. I can't say anything good about my god brother, but, well, okay, you can't say anything good about Krishnadas or Radhadasi, but can you say they're a jiva? Well, yeah, they're a jiva. I can say that much. Well, Krishna says in Gita that the jivas are part of him, just like your finger and hands are part of your body. So you don't want to go cutting off your fingers if they give you a hard time. Try to fix them and repair them and be nice to them. If your finger gets trouble, you don't ignore it, you rather give it more attention. And be more nice to him. So if a god brother gives you trouble, don't ignore him or be nasty or neglect him, but be more nice to him. And give him more attention. And that's the sober person. We're supposed to be Dhira Dhira Jana Priya Priya Karo. Prabhupada said we should become like the 6 Goswamis. Sing this prayer every day. One time a devotee in LA said, Prabhupada, how can we become like the 6 Goswamis? Because they were all pure devotees. They're ideal devotees of Radha and Krishna and Gauranga. So how can we become? And he said, you sing every day the prayers of the 6 Goswamis. Every day you sing the prayers, which Prabhupada was so fond of. And you'll become a Goswami, because by singing and associating with these qualities and these great devotees, then that will come unto us, and we'll become like that. Everything, the question is, if quarreling is due to envy, how can it be okay? Let's put it this way. We are creature. We have basic coverings. We are all covered by lust, greed, anger, lust, and envy, madness. That's our operating software. Whatever we do with our screen of our computer, the inside that computer, the software is this. Icha dvesha samutena dvanda mohina bharata. Krishna is telling in Gita that we're born in this material world with these coverings. Desire and hatred. Hatred means envy. This is us, the jivas, conditioned souls. So our talking has different layers and coatings of envy in our talking, and different coatings and layers of greed and lust in our words and our talking, our glancing, our actions. Because we're conditioned souls. We're not on a level of bhav or prem. So someone's asking a question, well, if our quarreling is coming from envy, everything we're doing is coming from envy. When we take prasad, it's coming from greed. We eat prasadam, it's coming from greed. We're lusty, we're greedy, we just stuff ourselves. We're not doing seva, not doing prasad seva, just eating a minimal to maintain body and soul. We're maxing out. Overeating. Check your waistline. Check it out. So this is so it's quarreling, everything. So, but the point that Vrindavandas Thakur Vedavyas is telling us, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling us as our Shiksha Guru, as God Himself, he said, what makes it pure is Krishna in the center. There's stool all over the village field. There's urine all over the village field. The field's totally contaminated for the time being. But then the sun rises and it's purified. So the sun that's between every devotee, the sun that's rising and shining in every devotee's heart is Krishna Surya Sama, the Krishna sun. The sun of Krishna consciousness. So our arguing, I'm arguing with my godbrother. Yeah, I am envious. I mean, we're all arguing. And then if we're envious and we're arguing, and it's Krishna conscious, and we're Rukmini and Satyabhama, and we're arguing out of prema, and it's also Krishna conscious. It's just a higher level of Krishna consciousness. That's what we just heard. That Satyabhama and Rukmini are arguing and finding fault with each other in Dwarka, and doing gully on each other, hard words, nasty words, but it's accepted as Madhurya Bhakti. And it's coming, and their argument is coming from prem, pure Shuddha prem, Shuddha Bhakti. There's no material envy; it's spiritual envy. We're also arguing with our godbrothers and quarreling out of envy. Yeah, no doubt. But it's purifying and it's pleasing to the Lord because that envy is bringing us to love. That's the analogy he used. Let's pay attention to the story. He said, you have a thorn, you remove a thorn with a thorn. The whole idea is that Krishna is in every devotee's heart. So Brajman was making a nice point that it's different layers and different stages. There's the infection, and then the incubation period, and then the symptoms, and then the visit of the doctor, then the shots, then the relapse, then the recovery, and then there's all stages of coming back to health. So there's the aparad, and then there's the repentance, and then there's the introspection, and then there's the response to the repentance and introspection, where you go to the devotee and beg forgiveness and give some prasad and embrace and this and that. So it's a whole cycle, has many stages, and that's part of the natural flow of bhakti that any sincere devotee will undergo. And if they don't follow that line, they just simply quarrel all the time out of envy, then Krishna will say, you're not playing it right, get out of here. And Krishna will kick you out, and in the next life you can try again. But any sincere devotee will go through this levels of processing the aparad, you can say. It's all these modern terms we have. Data processing, aparad processing. So the whole picture, the whole thing is purifying it. And because part of getting healthy is to uncover the disease. Right? You think, I'm okay, I have this little pain, it's okay. Then you go in for some inspection, they say you have a tumor, a cancerous tumor on your kidneys, and they take it out. So the quarreling brings out the bad quality. We're quarreling out of envy because we're envious creatures. And then when we come to prema, we'll be competing with each other. And that's what we're doing here. We're quarreling because Krishna is the center and Guru is the center. This is the whole thing. Krishna is the center, and Guru and Krishna are the center here as devotees, neophyte, kanishta, whatever level we are. And we're quarreling because of envy, greed, lust, and all these things. And that quarreling is it's purifying us and increasing our attachment to Hari Guru and Vaishnavas, and ultimately increasing our bhakti and increasing our love. And in the spiritual world, they're quarreling out of prema because it enhances the pleasure and bhakti and love of Krishna. This is transcendental quarreling. I remember when I was in LA in 75 and they told me he's a bhakta, they said, now you have an MBBS in allopathic medicine from university, so you're qualified to clean the toilets. So you go in and clean the toilets because this is bhakti yoga. I said, this is ridiculous. This is just stool full of smeared up crappy toilets that stink like anything. And and then the Brahmin devotee told me, he said, no, these are transcendental toilets. These are Krishna's toilets. And that struck me when I was a neophyte and right off the tender horn or whatever you call it, green horn. And so I was cleaning the toilets with an extreme vigor and enthusiasm. And in my mind I kept thinking, yeah, they're Krishna's toilets. It's Krishna's toilets. This is transcendental. And there's 8 toilets in the bathroom. It's like a big bathroom. Right? It's not a small-time bathroom. 500 devotees or something. So this is, our quarreling is transcendental. Transcendental quarreling. We are married and we have sex and have children. It's transcendental sex. To make transcendental babies. We're not just having flesh balls. Babies and having sex. Looks the same, but it's transcendental. We're dancing in a kirtan. It looks like dancing of the drunk on the street on whiskey. Arms above, jumping up and down with his whiskey bottle in his one hand and the other hand raised in the air. So we're dancing in ulas and kirtan. It's transcendental dancing, divya nach. Well, Bhakti Siddhanta was asked a question, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Oh, Gurudev, we have this kam, krodh, lobh, we have this krodh, this anger. What should we do with it? Yes, anger is very good. He gave a whole analysis. We should direct our anger towards ourselves. We should be very angry with ourselves. Why am I so lazy? Why I've been trying to get up early for months and years and decades and eons. Why am I so lazy and slow and attached to sleeping and this and that? So we get angry with ourselves. Why am I not chanting nicely? Why am I falling asleep on a japa? Why am I not serving sincerely? So we get angry with ourselves. Because generally we hear anger that we should use our anger against the non-devotees and someone who blasphemes a Vaishnava, or he tries to offend the deities, like Hanuman used his anger against Ravana and burned down his city, and that was for the service and pleasure of Ramchandra. But Bhaktisiddhanta took a different slant, and he said we should use our anger against the Ravana called me. Abeda dristite Krishna Vaishnava bhajiya Jai Krishna Charna Seve Se Jaya Tariya. One who regards Krishna and the Vaishnavas as non-different, while serving the lotus feet of Krishna is delivered from material existence. Vaishnav Krishna abed dristi. There's no bed, there's no difference. He does his bhajan. Vaishnav bhajan. One who thinks and does his bhajan that way. Jai Gaya Jai Shune E Sakala Punya Katha Vaishnava Parada Tara Na Janme Sarvata. One who chants or hears these auspicious topics never commits offenses to the Vaishnavas. Haribo. So everyone should get out Chaitanya Bhagavat and read this whole story of Gauranga and a leper, and then chant these topics, and you will never commit offenses to the Vaishnavas. Vaishnava Parad Na Janam. Vaishnava Parad will never take birth in the heart of someone who studies these topics. This is a blessing of Vedavyas Vrindavan Das Thakur. There's one purport here. By considering there are differences between devotees of the Lord, or that the Lord is not being served by one devotee, one commits a Vaishnava Parad. Well, there's no possibility of committing an offense if one realizes that there's no difference between Hari Guru Vaishnava. Such a person can never commit any Vaishnava Parad. This is often told. Hari Guru Vaishnava. Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Sita Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita. So that means that Nityananda and Gauranga Krishna, Nityananda Balaram, Mahavishnu Advaita, and Hari and Super Soul and all the Vishnu forms and Gurudev and the Vaishnavas and the Bhagavad Gita are all transcendental. They're all forms of Krishna, they're all spiritual. We should serve all of them and respect all of them. Hena mate Sri Gora Sundar Shanti Pore Achena Paramanande Advaita Mandire. In this way, Sri Gora Sundar enjoyed transcendental happiness while residing in the temple of Advaita Acharya in Shantipur. Tomorrow, we will read about the Vyasa Puja ceremony of Madhavendra Puri Pada Ki Jai. The Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antilila chapter 4, and we're hearing about the glories of the Vaishnavas and the glories of their arguing and fighting. This is the pastime of Lord Gauranga when the Vaishnavas are quarreling. This is text 388 in Antilila 4, so we heard a lot of discussion about that. So we're continuing with that. Abeda Justite Krishna Vaishnava Bhajiya Jay Krishna Charana Seve Se Jaya Tariya. Anyone who thinks that Krishna and the Vaishnavas are different while serving, if anyone remembers that Krishna and Vaishnavas are non-different, then while he's serving Krishna, he will be delivered. Tariya, Tarana, delivered from this material world. Jai Gai Jai Shune E Sakala Punya Katha Vaishnava Parada Tara Na Janme Sarvata. One who chants or hears these auspicious topics never commits offenses to the Vaishnavas. We heard that yesterday. Now we're supposed to discuss we're supposed to discuss Madhavendra Puri. This is the Avirbhav Titi Utsav of Madhavendra Puri that was celebrated in Advaita Acharya's house. Why was this function celebrated in Advaita Acharya's house? Madhavendra Puri Pad is the spiritual master of Sri Advaita Acharya Prabhu Ki Jai. So Madhava Puriya Aradhana Punya Titi Daiva Joge Upasana Haila Asi Tatai. By divine arrangement, the Mangala Titi, the auspicious day of the appearance of Madhavendra Puri came. Madhavendra Advaite Jadyapi Vedanai Tadapi Tahana Shishya Acharya Gosai. Although there is no difference between Madhavendra Puri Pad and Advaita Gosai, Advaita was the disciple of Madhavendra Puri. This was a pastime enacted by Sri Advaita Prabhu to accept a guru, according to the principle of the Veda. Madhavendra Puri Ra Dehe Sri Gora Sundar Satya 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 Vihara Ye Narantar. It is an established fact that Sri Gora Sundar constantly resided in the body of Sri Madhavendra Puri. Very interesting idea. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu residing in the body of Madhavendra Puri means that the Radha Bhav of Lord Gauranga, the Bhav and Kanti, the Bhav inside, because outside is the Kanti, so it doesn't say outside, but inside, resided in the body, Dehi, of Madhavendra Puri, so that Radha Bhav, so therefore Madhavendra Puri, because of that presence of Lord Gauranga in his heart, he was able to manifest this Radha Bhav, this Viraha Bhav of Radharani, pining for Krishna and separation after Krishna went to Mathura. Ai dina diyardanate kadava maturnath kadava lokise hridiyam avalokam kataram dayata brahmyati kim karomyaham. Dayata brahmyati kim karomyaham. Oh, my beloved, Ai dina diyartanath, you're my master, but now I can't see you. You've gone to Mathura and become the master of Mathura and the Mathura Vasis and the Puri Vasis and the ladies, the cultured ladies of Mathura. And as such, Hridiyam Avalokam Kataram, my heart is Kataram. Hridiyam Avalokam Kataram. Hridiyam, without seeing you, my heart is breaking. Kataram. It's just breaking in pieces. Daita. Oh, my beloved. I'm totally bewildered. Brahmyati. I'm totally beside myself and bewildered. I don't know what to do. Kim karomyaham. What can I do? Where can I find relief? Where can I go? What can I do? How can I find solace in your separation? Hey Sham. So this bhav, this Radha bhav, this separation was manifest in the heart of Madhavendra Puri, and he was chanting this shloka repeatedly when leaving his body. This is told in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, I believe.
What is the spiritual form?
Madhavendra Puri's swarup is not clearly understood. I have not seen it revealed anywhere. But obviously he must be some type of associate or servant of Radharani. To preach the glories of the Supreme Lord in this world, Sri Gaura Sundara appeared within Madhavendra Puri and preached Shuddha Bhakti. Madhavendra Puri was invested with the full potency of the Supreme Lord. His incomparable service attitude is beyond a description of human language. Oh, that's something to be glorified for. 500 years, 600 years later, we're hearing the qualities of this great Vaishnava, Premi Bhakta of Gauranga, Premi Bhakta of Radha, that his service attitude was incomparable and indescribable. An indescribably incomparable attitude of service. Seva mukhe jivado swayameva sparatyada. Is that a Taksri Krishna Namadi? Navaved Graham Seva mukhe jivado. Swayameva, so sporty. Gauranga sporty, Radha sporty, Swayam. The personal form of Radha was manifesting in his heart because of Sevan Mukhe Jivado. Because he was absorbed, his form, his face, his attitude, his words, his deeds, his activities were all absorbed in the pure devotional service of the Lord. And the glories of Madhavendra Puri's pure devotional service are glorified by Krishnadas Kaviraj in the Chaitanya Charitamrita chapter, maybe 15 or so. What chapter is that? Glories of Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri's pure devotional service, Chaitanya Charitamrita. I think actually Lord Chaitanya is speaking the glories. He's narrating to the other devotees at Ramona. In Ramona, at the temple of Kirchor Gopinath in Orissa, they were on the yatra and they stopped there. And then from his own mouth, Gauranga glorified his predecessor, Madhavendra Puri. Chapter 4. Madhavendra Puri, chapter 4, Madhya Lila. So he had indescribable, incomparable service attitude. We can pray to Madhavendra Puri at this particular time and say, I have a really lousy service attitude. I don't have any service attitude. I don't actually want to serve anybody. Tell you the truth. Somehow or other they say I'm supposed to do that, serve somebody. and it's good for me, but I want everyone to serve me. Beginning with me. I want me to serve me and everybody else to serve me. What says Jivera Swarupaya Krishna Nityadas? That's hogwash. That's some kind of irrelevant mythological statements from ancient, ridiculous scriptures that have no application to modern man. They're not technological. They're not computer age oriented. It's some ancient hieroglyphic philosophy from the cave walls of the cave dwellers of the Harappa Valley of India. That every jiva is an eternal servant of God. What is this? I am the master. I am the Lord. Ishvaraham, aham bhogi, siraham balavan sukhi. Ishvaraham, I am the Ishvara. Aham bhogi, I am the enjoyer. Siraham, I am perfect. Siraham, balavan, balavan. See, look. Sukhi, I am so happy. I am the top of the world, top of the pops, top of the world. This is Asura Sambhav. Asura Sambhav. Krishna is telling in Gita, chapter 16. Service is not my business. I came here to enjoy. So watch out. I'm wild and loose. But we can pray to Madhavendra Puri that some few drops of this attitude, at least start with the attitude. Start with the attitude. I'm feeling like I'm developing an attitude and a feeling like maybe I should serve somebody. It might be a good idea. Somehow it's dawning on my my puny devotional brain that I should serve someone besides my tongue and my mind and senses. Is there anybody around here that's fit for my service? Let me see. Oh, gee, I can't find anybody. I can't find anybody that's qualified to be the lucky recipient of my service. So I'm going to keep it all for myself. I've surveyed the field and I haven't found any quote-unquote master that is qualified to receive my exalted service. So therefore let me serve myself and go to hell with all the other foolish masters. But we can pray, Oh Madhavendra Puripad, please bless me with a drop of your incomparable, indescribable service attitude. Attitude is a mentality, a heart's feeling, a sensation, a vibration, a motivation, a desire, a thought, thinking, feeling, willing. Willing action is at the end, karya, chesta karya. So it begins with some conception, some idea that, I'm a servant, I'm God's servant, I should serve. And with devotion, with feelings and love. So many wonderful glories of Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri ra akatya Vishnu bhakti Krishna prasade sarva kala purna shakti. Madhavendra Puri's bhakti to Vishnu is indescribable. Akatya. By Krishna's mercy, Madhavendra Puri was always fully empowered. Sarva kala purna shakti. Krishna prasad. Kali Kalera Dharma, Krishna Nam Sankirtan, Krishna Shakti Nahi Tahi. Krishna Shakti Nahi Tara Pravartan. Nahi. If you don't have, without the mercy of Krishna, the empowerment of Krishna, one cannot spread Krishna consciousness. Kali Kalera, Krishna Nam Sankirtan, Krishna Shakti, was it? Krishna Shakti? Vina? Was it? Krishna, Krishna Shakti Vina Nahi Tara Pravartan. Pravartan, to establish the path, the Vartman, to establish the path of bhakti and pure devotional service one must be empowered by the Lord, Krishna Shakti. And the more surrendered one is, and the more dedicated one is, the more one is empowered. So he was receiving the prasad all the time, sarvakal, and he had Purna Shakti, complete empowerment. Jai mate advaita shishya hailena tana, chitta diya shuna se mangala akyana. Now hear attentively the auspicious narration of how Advaita became the disciple of Madhavendra Puri. Jai samayena chila chaitanya avatar, Vishnu bhakti shunya saba achila samsar, takaneyo Madhavendra chaitanya kripai, prema sukha sindhu majje, basena sadai, niravadi dehe roma harsha ashrukampa, hunkara garjana mahasya stamba garma. Before the advent of Lord Chaitanya, the entire world was devoid of Krishna Bhakti. Yet by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, even at that time, when the world was devoid of Krishna Bhakti, there was one exception. Madhavendra Puri was floating in an ocean of ecstatic love. He was in the world, but he was not of the world. Prema sukha sindhu maji basena sadai. Niravadi dehi roma harsha shrukampa. Madhavendra's body was always decorated, his hair standing on end, tears shivering, roaring, thundering, laughing, stunned and perspiring profusely. Niravadi govindero jana nahi bhai, apane o na janina ki karina karye. Vatte chale jaite o apana apani, nachena paramarange kari hari dhwani, kakkano vahina se ananda murchahai, duitina prahare o dehi bhaya nai. Madhavendra Puri Pad was always absorbed in Govinda Dhyan, meditation on Govinda. He did not know what he was doing. Walking on the road, he would dance in ecstasy and chant the name of Hari, Nachena Parama Ranga, in the greatest ecstasy. Ranga, Parama, he would dance. Sometimes he would lose consciousness, Ananda Murcha, in ecstasy for 6 or 9 hours. Kakano va virahe, jai karina rodhan, gangadara vahayena adbhuta katan, kakana hasena ati atta atahas, paranandara sekshane haya diggavas. Absorbed in the feelings of separation, Madhavendra would shed tears like streams of the Ganga. Such topics are certainly wonderful. Adbhuta Kata. Sometimes he would laugh loudly. In the mellows of ecstatic love, he would forget to dress himself. Digambara, Digvas, Paranandaras, Paranandaras, Haya Digvas. Gopi Bhava Rasamritabdi Lahari Kalola Magno Muhur. Tyaktva Turnamashesha Mandalapati Shrenim Sada Tuchavat. You can give up everything if you're relishing Gopi Bhav. So he was relishing Parananda Rase, so he gave up everything, including his clothes. Tyaktva Turnamashesha Mandalapati. He gave up all clothes, all finery, all silks, all fine garments of the ministers and secretaries of the king, and they simply wore kopin and kanta. Tyaktva Turnamashesha Mandala Shrenim Sadatu Javat Bhutva Dina Ganesha Karunya Kopina Kanta Shrito Ashrita. They took shelter, they covered themselves with a kopin and a kanta. Kanta means you get a piece of wool here and there, old ripped up crummy blankets, and you sew them cut them into squares and you sew them all together. That's a kanta. It's called patchwork quilt in English. Some bunch of blankets put together. Megho, Megho, ho. Hey Mata Krishna Sukhe Madhavendra Sukhi Save Bhakti Shunya Loka Deki Bhara Dukhi. Madhavendra Puri enjoyed the happiness of Krishna consciousness, Krishna Sukhe. But he was unhappy to see the world was devoid of bhakti. Tarahita Chintate Bhavena Niti Niti Krishna Prakat Hayena Etanra Mati. Every day he would think about the welfare of the people. His desire was that Krishna would come to this world, Krishna Prakat. Krishna Jatra Ahoratri Krishna Sankirtan Ihara Udesha Nahi Jane Konjan. No one knew anything about the festivals related to Krishna, or the all-night chanting of Krishna's names and glories. Krishna Jatra, Ahoratri. Ahoratri means day and night, all night. Ahoratri, Krishna Sankirtan. Udesh, Nahi Jani Konjan. No one knew anything about all-night Sankirtan. No one knew anything about festivals of Krishna. 600 years ago, everyone was infected with Smarta Brahmins were running India. Everywhere. Krishna Bhakti was sleeping, dormant. Madhavendra Puri was a yati. Yati Pur, Govardhan is named after him. Yati means he's a sannyasi, or renunciate. He had no facility to mass Sankirtan or to spread the word. He was simply lamenting and praying and doing his bhajan. He was a bhajananandi. Dharma karma loka sabai matra jane mangala chandira gite kare jagarane. The only jagarans people would do were for Durga jagarans. What is the most popular festival even today in India? Navaratri. 2 times a year, I think it comes. So this huge festival, Navaratri, worshipping Durga, Chandi, Mangala Chandi. The only Dharma Karma Loka Sabha E Matra Jani, the only religious principle and pious activity that people knew was to sing the glories of Mangala Chandi throughout the night. Mangala Chandi Gita Jagaran. Durga Jagaran. Krishna Jagaran, no icha, neyacha. Krishna Kirtan, neyacha. Harivasra Jagaran, koi icha ne. Koi admi icha ne. No interest. Devata Janena Sabe Shasti Vishahari Tahare Sevana Sabe Mahadambakari. The only deities that people knew about were Shasti and Vishahari. The goddess of snakes. They worship these deities with great pride. Shasti, she's a deity of this day number 6. Has something to do with children or something. Shasti Puja, it's for children. Vishadaris for snake bites or something. Dhanavamsha Bhaduka Kariya Kamyaman Madhya Mamse Dhanava Pujaye Konajan. Some people worship the demons with wine and meat. Madhya Madhira means wine. Mamsh. Dhanava means the demons, for the purpose of increasing their wealth and family. Dana Vamsha, Dan Vamsha Baduka, Karya Kamya Man. Everyone is lusty and desirous to increase their family and their wealth. Same as today. Let's go to Vaishnav Devi, and pray for our family to expand and our wealth to increase more. Jogi Pala, Bogi Pala, Mahipala Ragita, Iha Shuni Bade Sarva Loka Anandita. Everyone was happy to hear about the glories of the yogis and bogis and rulers of the world. Sounds like now. big time. All the newspapers and magazines and news shows and television broadcasts are all about the glories of the bogies. Bogi Mahima. The Yogi Pala and the Bogi Pala and the Mahipala. The sense enjoyers and the yogis. Oh, this yogi can do this magic and that magic. Oh, big time news. He can take dust and turn it into gold. Oh, that's big news. Ati bhara sukriti ye snanera samai Govinda Pundrikaksha nama ucharai. Only a few of the most pious persons in the world would recite the names of Pundrik Aksha and Govinda only when they were taking a bath. Actually, there are some Vedic injunctions which everyone is completely ignorant of, especially nowadays. But it's enjoined that when one bathes, he should chant the names of the Lord. Sri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare He Nata Narayana Vasudeva. Sri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare He Nata Narayana Vasudeva. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Harinam eva kevalam kalo anasteva gatiranyata. So when we bathe, we should not say ooh ah. Because people in the West, they have hot water. So maybe in India too, some places. We don't here. Usually people would bathe in the river. And it's some river or lakes or whatever, and the water is usually quite refreshing. And people, if you bathe in Yamuna regularly in the old days, back in the 80s and mid-80s when we were at Radha Damodara, late 80s and whatever, we would bathe in Yamuna Devi, and all the sadhus and people around us, they're all singing it, Jai Shri Ram, Ram, Haribol, Haribol, and bathing. And so it's very blissful, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning in the Yamuna, bathing with all the devotees, and everyone's chanting their own personal mantras. Radhe, 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 Jai, Radharaman, Radha Govinda, Radha Govinda, 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 Govinda. This is the way. So this is the only time that people would ever recite Vishnu Nam when they took a bath. Kareva Vaishnava Bali Kiba Sankirtan Hinava Krishnera Nritya Kini Vakrandan Vishnu Maya Vashek Loka Kichui Najan Sakala Jagat Bada Mahatamogun. By the influence of Vishnu's Maya potency, people did not know who was a Vaishnava. They did not know what was Sankirtan, and they did not know what it meant to dance and cry for Krishna. The entire world was entangled in the mode of ignorance. Sakala Jagat Bhara Mahatamagun. Sakala means sub. Sakala, sub Jagat. Band Mahatamagun. The whole world, the whole universe is bound in the greatest, topmost Mahatamagun. Not just Tamagun, but Maha. Big time ignorance. That was 600 years ago. Now it's better? Now it's Satyuga? It's the age of Satyuga? No. Satyavacham, Dharma everywhere, Sanatan Dharma, Puja, Pat, Archan, right? So everywhere is Satyuga. Everyone's Sublok Bhakti, Sublok Vaishnava, Sublok Durjana, Badmash, Dustajana, Sublok Gunda, Dacoit, Kapat, Durt, Lampat, Kapat, Durt. This is the samachar for the present day. Everyone's a cheater, a liar, a thief, a womanizer, drunk. This really, now it's maha, ati maha tamagun, Jagat Bhada. Really heavily bound. Anyone want to argue the point? Loka deki dukkha bhave shri madhavapuri hena nai tilarda sambhasha jare kari. Loka deki dukkha bhave shri madhavapuri hena nai tilarda sambhasha jare kari. Sri Madhavendra Puri became distressed on seeing the condition of the people. He did not find anyone fit to converse with. Well, that's pretty common. Sambhasha jare kari. He couldn't find anyone to talk to because everyone wanted to talk about cricket and sports and their family and their husbands and their wives and their little chilies, their children. Childies. They wanted to talk about that, and fashion and beauty creams and shampoos and the latest glass bangles that popped out of Rajasthan in the marketplace. So he didn't find anyone to talk to. He was a lonely person. That's devotee. Devotee's lonely. There's no one to talk to except another devotee. Or talk to Krishna, talk to the Guru, talk to the Super Soul. Speak out your mind, brother man. Speak out your mind, brother man. Sanyasira saneva karina sambhashana seya apanari matra balinarayan. When he tried to speak with a sannyasi, the sannyasi that he would try to talk with would say, Aham Narayan, Namo Narayan, I am Narayan, Namo Narayan. He dukke sannyasi sange nakahena kata, henastan nahi Krishna bhakti shuni jata. Because of this unhappy situation, he would not speak with sannyasis. Sannyasi sangha nahi. He could not find any place where Krishna bhakti was discussed. Henastan nahi Krishna bhakti shuni jata. Sounds like right now. Do they discuss Krishna bhakti in the high school, in the mall, in the shopping center, in the Rotary Club, in the living rooms of your relatives? Do they discuss? No, it's all nonsense, garbage, Gramya Katha. Waste of time. Croaking of the frogs. The world has become massively overpopulated by frogs. Human frogs. Everywhere human frogs. Croaking about family, friends, fashion. Family, friends, fashion, food, and the latest fads. The 5 F's. Jnani Jogi Tapasvi Sannyasi Kyati Jar Karamuke Nahi Dasya Mahima Prachar. Even the great yogis, jnanis, and ascetics and vairagis, sannyasis, even they never spoke about Krishna Katha, Krishna Mahima, Ram Mahima. Everyone was intoxicated with different degrees of material contamination, material life. Jata adhyapak sabha tarka se vakane tara sabha krishnara vigraha nahi man. All the teachers of Sanskrit and philosophy, they simply taught tarka, dry argument. They did not accept that Krishna has a form. Krishna vigraha nahi man. No one considered, no one thought, no one believed that God has a form. They're all Mayavadis, Shunyavadis, Buddhists. The best of the Sanskrit teachers were the crest jewels among dry speculators. Through their arguments, they tried to establish that Krishna Bhakti was useless. Sounds like modern parents. Modern parents try to establish in the minds of their children, what's this bhakti? This is useless, irrelevant. What can you get from it? What will it do? Nothing. Will bhakti feed you? Will bhakti give you clothing? This is useless. This is beggar's philosophy. This is loafers philosophy. You should get out there and work. Slave. Manu Seva, Madhava Seva. Serve mankind. That is serving God. What is this bogus Hare Krishna chanting? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Bandhanam, Sakyam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atman. This is hogwash. Work. Earn a living. Make money, man. This is life. This is the service of God. Become a gada. Become a donkey. Carry a heavy load on your back. Carry your computer on your back. Jump on your motorcycle and run like a hornet. Run like a wild fly to work down the freeways. Wild fly buzzing down the freeway on your Yamaha. It's like a bunch of flies running down the freeway. There they go. 9 to 5. Gauranga. Bhaja Gauranga. Kaha Gauranga. Loha Gauranga Namare. Dekite Shunite Duki Sri Madhav Puri Mane Mane Chinte Wane Vasagya Kari. When Madhavendra Puri saw all of these things and heard all of these things, he was very dukhi, unhappy. He thought, let me go live in the forest. Chinte Van Vas Gya Kari. So he came to the forest of Vrindavan. And he lived on the banks of Govinda Kund. He did his Nirjan Bhajan. Nibrita Nikunj. Nibrita Nikunj Govardhan Me. Govinda Kund Pasmehe. And then Chobis Ganta Nam, Smaran, Dhyanam, Leela Pravesh. And Avachitta, what is that Bhratya do? Where you just depend on whatever comes. Avachitta Vritti or something. Ajagrata. Ajagar Vritti, which is a vow like a python. Whatever comes my way, I'll take. He didn't do madhukari. He didn't beg any food. He didn't ask anyone. His eyes were closed. He was meditating on Krishna and Radha, crying out for the mercy of the Lord, remembering Radharani's bhav and separation. Ai dina diyardhanatahe. Maturanath Kadavalokyase. And Gopal heard his crying. And Gopal's mother heard his crying. He said, oh Gopal, there's one yati. There's one sannyasi. He's not going anywhere. He's not doing madhukari. He's taking shelter. He has taken shelter of your Brajadam. He's chanting, doing Nam Bhajan and Leela Smaran on the banks of your Kund, Govinda Kund. And we must maintain him. Yoga Kshemam Bahamyaham. Please, you every day, Gopal. Oh Lala, please, Lala, you take this milk every day, 1 liter of milk, and you give to that Madhavendra Puri. Ai Janani, Mataji, Mata, yes, yeah, yes, Mataji, I'll go. So every day he would come. So he took shelter of Vrindavan. Loka madhye brahmikene Vaishnava dekite Katao Vaishnava nam na shuni jagate. Madhavendra Puri, in his exasperation, he said, why am I looking for a Vaishnava among these ordinary people? Loka madhye brahmike. And in this world I have not even heard the word Vaishnava. Even the word Vaishnava, I haven't heard anyone even say it. What to speak of see one? Reminds me of the inquiry of Bhakti Siddhanta. Once they asked him, they said, You have met many people from the West. You preached to Professor Suthers. Professor Suthers from Ohio State University came to Calcutta, and you met him in 1934. And had some discussions on Gaudiya Vedanta. And you met many priests and religious people, many Christians, and everyone you met was a Christian. They were British royalty and Lord Zetland. So, Swamiji, Bhaktisiddhanta, what do you think of Christianity? He said, well, I never met one. I never actually met one, so I can't really say. I met so many quote-unquote so-called Christians, they never actually met a true Christian. In a similar way, Madhavendra Puri, he couldn't find any Vaishnavas to meet, and didn't even hear anyone even mention the word Vaishnava. Hateve sakalokamadehite. He's Vanjai Jataloka Napai. He said, I should leave all these people and go to the forest so I don't have to see their faces. It's inauspicious to see all these faces of non-devotees and sense enjoyers and bogies. It's very inauspicious and very contaminating. So that's what he's saying. He said, no one's speaking, no one's even using the word Vaishnava, I'm not meeting any Vaishnavas, I'm surrounded by bogies and demigod worshippers and womenizers and menizers. Womenizers and menizers. Women chasing men chasing women. They're all bogies and rogies. And so I don't want to even see them. It's better I live in the forest. Eteke se van bala e sabahaite van vanikata nahi avashnavera sahite. It's better for me to live in the forest because I don't have to speak with those non-devotees there. Glories of Madhavendra Puri, some of his exasperation with the people around him. He couldn't tolerate the Sangha. He couldn't tolerate the Sangha of his own kind. He was a yati, but he said, Sannyasi Sangha na. I don't want to associate with my own kind. So we may be Sindhis or Punjabis or married people, Delhiites, Bombayites, but we may be, when we become a true devotee, then we don't want to associate with our own kind. He's a sannyasi, so naturally sannyasis associate with sannyasis. Grihastas associate with grihastas. Brahmacharis associate with brahmacharis. So one becomes a devotee and turns his heart and mind towards Krishna Bhakti, then there's grihastas that are materialists and non-devotional and against Bhakti become unfavorable, incompatible association. Someone wants to leave them and not even see them, what to speak of talk to them. So he couldn't find any of his own kind to be with. He said, I can't find any of my own kind, so let me take shelter of the forest. God is in the forest. They say if you want to realize God, go to the forest. Dhruva Maharaj was in a dilemma because he was insulted by his father, or rather his stepmother, Suniti. Suruchi. His mother's name was Suniti. Suruchi, she had good taste for her husband, but no taste for her son-in-law. So she told him to get lost and chucked him off the lap of the husband. So he asked his mother, Suniti, he said, listen, where can I find God? And she said, go to the forest. He said, where's a good forest to find him? And she said, Madhuvan. So I came to Madhuvan, in Mathura, near Mathura. And he did his tapasya there. And then in Kartik month, Radharani was merciful to him. In the month of Kartik, he had darshan of Lord Narayan. Kartik is a very special month. It's Radharani's month, so the compassion really flows in Kartik. The great demigods, Manigriva and Nalakavara, were freed in Kartik. Well, they were standing as trees for so many months, so many years. But in Kartik, the compassion of Radharani is showered on them, because the Shakti controls the Shaktiman. So by his mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate, and by the blessings of his Guru in Kartik, Radharani blessed Dhruva Maharaj with darshan of Narayan, perfection of his tapasya. So this is why Kartik is called Urja Brata. And Radharani is called Urjeshwari. Urjeshwari Radha Ki Jai. She is the queen or controller of all the urja, all the powers, urja, or the powers and strengths are controlled by Radharani. So tapasya that Dhruva did was inconceivable and inimitable. No one can imitate it. But somehow when Radharani showered her grace on him, then he was blessed in her very month. It is her month, Urjeshwari. There's so much power and blessings in her month. Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat Ki. So I'd like to offer my humble obeisances to all the Vaishnavas listening on internet and thank them for their kind attention. Thank them for their kind attention and beg for their mercy upon this useless person. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. We're reading about the story of Madhavendra Puri meeting Advaita Acharya from Antya Lila chapter 4, Chaitanya Bhagavat. And we heard some of the Vrindavan Thakur is describing, already we heard some of the characteristics of his attitude and his behavior and his experience, that he couldn't, Madhavendra Puri, although he's a yati or a sannyasi, he couldn't find any sannyasis to associate with. And no one, no matter whether yogis, sannyasis, or vairagis, no one was ever speaking about the glories of the Lord. They're all speaking simply tarka and dry arguments. He was very unhappy. He decided to go live amongst the forests. Go live in the forest. He says, it's better to live there than live with all these people because they're all non-devotees. Why should I spend time here? Hey mata mando dhuka bhavite chintite ishvara ichaya deka advaita sahite. While Madhavendra Puri was unhappily contemplating this way, by Ishvara Icha, the will of God, he met Advaita Acharya. Vishnu Bhakti Shunya Deki Sakala Samsar Advaita Acharya Dukkha Bhavena Apar Tadapi Advaita Singha Krishnara Kripai Drita Kari Vishnu Bhakti Vakane Sada Nirantara Padajena Gita Bhagavat Bhakti Vakkanena Matra Grantera Jemat. That's interesting. The way the parallel construction here of Vrindavan Das Thakur. He's describing the mindset and attitude and mentality. There's two people in this scene that will meet each other. Madhavendra Puri will meet Advaita Acharya. And now we're hearing about the attitudes and the feelings and the disgust of Madhavendra Puri, how he was disgusted with all the people in the world, even the most elevated spiritual type people, the sannyasis and vairagis and yogis are supposed to be the spiritualists. And he himself was a vairagi, sannyasi, a yati, wandering mendicant, depending on the Lord, so he thought he could have camaraderie with them and friendship. But there was no commonality. Nothing to talk about, nothing to share. They were all simply arguing Vedanta sutras and useless arguments for the sake of arguing. No one was glorifying Krishna or Bhakti, so he felt rather unhappy in himself. And better I go live with the animals in the forest. I don't even want to see these people. So he's moving through the world and having these thoughts of just feeling fed up and frustrated with everything and everyone in the world. And now Vrindavan Das Thakur is going to take us into the life of Advaita. So what brought these two people together? What was their thinking? What was their similar line of thinking? What was their analogous attitudes? So now let's hear about Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya was greatly unhappy, as was Madhavendra Puri, because he saw the entire world was devoid of Vishnu Bhakti. Still, by the mercy of Krishna, Singha Advaita, lion like Advaita, always preached Vishnu Bhakti with firm determination. Madhavendra Puri was distressed because of the absence of the association with Krishna's devotees. And on the other side, Advaita Prabhu, by the mercy of God, was forcefully preaching Vishnu Bhakti. Advaita was constantly teaching Gita and Bhagavat. He taught Bhakti was a purport of these two literatures. Hine samaye Madhavendra Mahashai Advaitera Grihe Asi Haila Udhai. At that time, Madhavendra Mahashaya arrived at the house of Advaita in Shantipur, exactly during the class time of Advaita Acharya, when he was enthusiastically engaged in preaching. Deki Advaita Tana Vaishnava Lakshana Pranama Haya Parilena Sekshana Madhavendra Puriyo Advaita Karikole Sinchilena Angatana Premananda Jale Anyonye Krishna Kata Rase Dhui Janna Apanara Dehakaro Nahaya Smaran. As soon as Advaita saw the signs of a Vaishnava in Madhavendra Puri, he offered him pranams. And then Madhavendra Puri warmly embraced Advaita and soaked his body with tears of ecstatic love. Sinchilena Anga Premananda Jal. Advaita and Madhavendra became absorbed in Hari Katha, Krishna Katha Ras. And they forgot all about their bodies and lost themselves in the intoxication of the mellows of discussing Krishna Katha. Madhava Purira Prema Akatya Katana Megadarashani Morcha Haya Sekshana. The ecstatic love of Madhava Puri, Madhavendra Puri, is beyond description. You lose consciousness upon seeing a cloud. Megadarashani Morcha. Madhava Megadarashana Morcha. Meg. Ganashama Radhe Radhe, Ganashama Radhe Radhe. He would see a cloud. Meg ho, Meg ho. His love is extraordinary. When ordinary people see a cloud, they think, it may rain. The earth will become cool and our crops will grow. But when Madhavendra Puri saw the dark bluish gray color of the rain cloud, he immediately thought of Krishna. He became aloof from the world and lost consciousness. Krishnanam Shunile Karina Hunkar Shaneke Sahasrahai Krishna Vikar. As soon as he heard the name of Krishna, he would roar loudly. Haribol. In one moment, thousands of transformations, Sahasra, Vikar, of Krishna, of ecstatic love for Krishna would manifest in his body. In one moment, Shana Sahasra. Shana Sahasra Vikar, Sattvic Vikar. Eight transformations, crying and trembling, changing color, hair standing on end. Perspiring in 8 times, and each one 1,000 times, so 8,000 transformations. 8,000 types of crying and 8,000 types of shivering.
Goravani Prasarayam Devri Sansar Survadi Rasatya Satar Nama Saraswati Deve Goravani Prasarayam Devri Sansar Survadi Rasatya Satar Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasari Gora Bhatta Vrinda Krishna Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasari Gora Bhatta Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasari Gora Bhatta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasari Gora Bhatta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Jai Radha Sham Sundar Radha Sham Sundar Jai Radhe Radha Sham Sundar Radha Sham Sundar Jai Prabhu Prada Prabhu Prada Prabhu Prada Sila Prabhu Prada Prabhu Prada Prabhu Prada Prabhu Prada Raja Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Gurudev, Jaya Gurudev, Gurudev. Yes, I got Haribol, 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 say God Haribol, 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 Haribol.
Shri Gaura Hari
Bhajava Katha Vatsala Sri Gaura Hari. Sri Gaura Hari Sahi Goshta Bihari. Nanda Jasomati Chita Hari. Dhira Damodara Ishaya Kana. Bhova Mandire Basi Kara Bojana. Nandirani Deshi Basi Giri Baradari. Baladeva Saha Soka Boise Sari Sari. Shukta Shakhadi Badi Lalita Kushmanda. Dalidana Dugda Tumi Dadi Mocha Kanda. Dabora Mash Boda Rotika Gritana. Jaskuli Pista Kakir Kuli Payasana. Kapura Amrita Keli Ramba Kirashara. Amrita Rasalama Dvadasha Pakora. Luci Sinisar Puri Ladura Sabali. Bhojana Korena Krishna Hoye Kutuhali. Radhikara Pakayana Bibida Bhanjana. Paramayanande Krishna Korena Bhojana. Chale Bale Ladu Khai Sri Madhu Mangala. Bagala Bajaya Deya Hari Bolo. Radhikari Gani Hari Nayane Rakone. Rita Hoye Kai Krishna Jasoda Bhavani. Bhojanande Priya Krishna Subhasita Bari. Sabe Mukha Prakaloy Kore Sari Sari. Asta Mukha Prakaliya Jata Sakadane. Anande Vishrama Kore Baladeva Sane. Jambula Rasalane Jambula Masala. Tahake Krishna Chandra Sukhe Nijadela. Vishalaka Sikhi Pucha Shamara Dulaya. Apurva Sayaya Krishna Sukhe Nirayaya. Yasomati Anga Priye Danishtaya Nito. Sri Krishna Prasad Radha Unje Hoye Prito. Lalitari Sakhi Gana Avashesha Paya. Mane Mane Sukhe Radha Bhakti Gai Thakur Bhakti Vinoda Bhajapa Katha Vatsala Sri Gaura Hari Bhajapa Katha Vatsala Sri Gaura Hari Sri Gaura Hari Sahi Gosta Bihari Sri Gaura Hari Sahi Gosta Bihari Nanda Dasomati Chita Hari Nanda Dasomati Chita Hari Bhaja Govinda Govinda Gopala 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 এবার করুণা করো বৈষ্ণব গোসাই এবার করুণা করো বৈষ্ণব গোসাই পতিত পাবন তোমা বিনে কেহ নাই পতিত পাবন তোমা বিনে কেহ নাই পথে গেলে আপো দূরে যাহারনি পথে গেলে আপো দূরে হে মন দয়াল প্রভু কে বা কোথায় পাই হে মন দয়াল প্রভু কে বা কোথায় গঙ্গার পরশ হলে আসাদে পাওয়া গঙ্গার পরশ হলে पश्चात दर्शन पवित्र करो जो मारा दर्शन पवित्र करो जो मारा हरिस्थाने अपराधे करे हरि हरिस्थाने अपराधे करे हरि स्थाने अपराधे नहीं स्थाने अपराधे नहीं सदा गोविंद तुम्हार हृदय सदा गोविंद गोविंद को है ना मोरो वैष्णव गोविंद को है ना मोरा वैष्णव जन्मे पड़ी आशा चरणेर धूली प्रति जन्मे पड़ी आशा चरणेर धूली नारोथमे करो दया तार बोली नारोथमे करो दया तार बोली बड़ करुणा करो वैष्णव गोसाई बड़ करुणा करो वैष्णव गोसाई पतित पावन तुम्हारा बिने के हो पतित पावन तुम
YouTube and I said that you were going for class. See you.